With the rising cost of living in Nigeria and the recent demolition exercises in Lagos, the number of those who are homeless is increasing. Sarah Ayeku's report takes a look at the demolition exercises of the Building Control Agency this month and its effect on occupants of distressed buildings.
By 2035, the UN projects that Lagos will be home to 24.5 million people, being the most populated city in Africa. But with the number of people migrating into Lagos from the north and eastern part of the country to seek greener pastures in the commercial capital city, getting a proper shelter on meager earnings is more difficult than ever. What's more burdensome is the cost of living in Lagos. About 2 weeks ago, the Lagos State Building Control Agency embarked on a demolition exercise in Mushi and Lagos Island, identifying distressed buildings across the state to prevent the incidence of building collapse. This exercise has, however, left about 1,000 homeless, adding to the encountered population with no roof over their heads and victims of inhumane developers. Rashidat Anifawoshe ran back from her store when she heard a house was being demolished. The developer had promised that the house would not be demolished until February 2024. Apparently, he gave the tenants a different notice after 1.3 million naira payment for rent.
Any developers that enter the streets, they'll be doing rubbish. Once they enter one street and start building house, they'll be collecting different houses. That's rubbish. They're just shitting us. What will the poor do now?
Another affected tenant is the civil servant, Rabiu Jamiu, who was until the demolition residing at 21 Okiari Street on Lagos Island. Living in the property for 13 years did not prepare him for the 11th of September's quick eviction. Evacuating his family from the now partially demolished building is unimaginable.
In Lagos, everybody is searching for a house, so to get accommodation in Lagos now is very, very high. I cannot stop them. They said the order is from governor. So I cannot stop the governor for doing his job. You understand? I will pack my load. Anywhere I see that I can keep my load, I will just pack it out. For the meantime, for me to see where I'm going to stay.
Perhaps the first time anyone would hear of the infamous 500-room residential building was in 2014, after a Punch newspaper report chronicled what life is like in the maze-like building. On the 17th of September 2023, at about 12 p.m., occupants of the building were asked to leave, following the partial collapse the day before. The latest eviction further reinforces what low-income families go through in houses like this. The demolition gives us a picture of what the building looks like. Behind the compound is a swamp, or should we call it a makeshift toilet for tenants.
Toilet is cancelled. No kitchen, no toilet, no bathroom. Even me and my wife, sometimes we bath outside. Outside when there's night. So sometimes when we stand for some neighbor window and bath, somebody will be complaining. Even when my wife born on 20 December. So due to bathing outside, some people started complaining. Because there's no money to come and rent another house, so we'll try to manage.
For days, many occupants slept on the Oducho street, some because there was no alternative, others to safeguard their property. The partial collapse also affected residents of the building next to the Agboye house.
A hell. It was a hell living here. I was here, many of my good friends, they lost their life, died mysteriously. Apart from that, so many problems. You put hand in a business, it will not go. It will crash landed. It's scattered. My children is in the hotel. Some of my property is up there. Some are down there. Some are here. Some I'm even confused. We need shelter here. That is first thing. Shelter. Government should provide where people that are helpless can stay.
1 month and 17 days. And no prior information, no nothing. They just came and just demolished somebody's house. Is it how they behave? What do they want? Where do they want us to go? I just packed it somewhere. The ones I could able to gather. So that's just it.
Opposite the Agboye residential building, we meet Khadija Oyewande, the widow of a police sergeant in the Lagos State Police Command. Her husband died on the 9th of May following a brief illness. She has lived in this house for about 20 years. For a woman still mourning, another problem she has to face is the idea of being homeless. She's about to be chased out of her apartment.
Our house has been sold. We don't have a home. And we have been told that our luggage will be thrown out if we don't leave. So I need the police to help collect my late husband's savings from the cooperative. And any help the police can render to me will be appreciated.
Ṣé ẹ ṣe fẹ́ máa gbé lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ àbí ẹ ń wò pé tẹ́ bá rí state mi tẹ́ lè máa gbé ẹ máa lọ bẹ̀?
I want to live in Lagos. Business thrives in Lagos.
While the government seems to show great concern for the safety of occupants of distressed buildings, for the likes of Chinedu, Rashida, and Etong, getting a roof over their heads is a greater concern, and an alternative shelter will just be the succor they need. Sarah Ayeku, TVC News, Lagos.